Holy shit. Why am I making another video on Wilbur? Kind of. Okay, so have you ever had a crush on someone? Have you ever wanted to move somewhere because you had a crush on someone? Yeah, I know. Kind of insane. Today we're going to be talking about parasocial final boss, Tyler Catastrophe. Before we begin, I would like to apologize so much on the mic quality. I broke my mic. I'm so sorry. A new one's on its way, but we will be using my old microphone that I used to use when I streamed back in like 2022 when I was broke. I'm sorry. A new one's on its way, trust me. You're just gonna have to put up with this quality for now. I could not wait to talk about this catastrophe. Hey, hey, little wordplay there. What can oh. Anyway, let's just like get on with the video. Oh my god. Someone stop me from spinning on this damn chair. If you haven't seen him on TikTok, he's honestly taking over my For You page, and it's one of those things where you just can't stop watching because although all the things he says in their own little bubble aren't that bad, because it's all under the same account, it just sounds horrific. So if you don't know him, he's the guy who has a crush on Wilbur, and I thought this would be perfect for this channel because I've spoken about Wilbur before and other people's reaction to the allegations back when they came out in, I want to say 2023. But yeah, today we're going to be talking the parasocial nature of Tyler Catastrophe. So, just a heads up, we will be mainly taking videos not off Tyler's account, but this other account that I found will basically repost all of his videos. So this is the account. As you can see, a lot of people are following this drama. And we're going to start off with a video that started it all. The famous quote, "I've had a crush on Will Gold since 2019.
I have had a crush on Will Gold since 2019 when I heard him laugh in the background of someone else's video and it felt like life itself leaned in to listen. Which is really inconvenient for me because I am very much a one soul at a time kind of person, so once I develop a crush..."
So, just like starts off, basing a crush off just a laugh you've heard, like, don't even know a guy, holy parasocial. Let's continue though.
Virtually no one else stands a chance ever. And at the time, I had just broken off a terrible engagement to a guy who didn't even fucking like me. And since then, I have only briefly dated one other person, who was wonderful, but it didn't work out. And so in all of that time, regardless of how many people have tried and been interested in me, I have not been able to find the interest for any single one of them. Because I have a fucking crush on a guy I have interacted with once. And I don't even officially know his sexuality. That's a whole other thing. And I have tried so hard to move on from this, to let it go, because I want so badly for it not to cross over into parasocial territory, but in like...
I want it so badly to not cross into parasocial territory. I think we're past that point. Personally, this is like so insane. As I said in the intro, all the small things, like, okay, admitting you have a crush, like on an abuser, we'll get into that obviously, but holy parasocial, that's like all I can say.
The 7 minutes that we spoke to each other, one, every time we made eye contact, I thought my heart was gonna fucking burst out of my chest and fly away. Two, I was so nervous that my
like we get the point. It's very... I mean, I think the comments say it well enough. Let's just like take a look at them. Okay, here are some of the comments. Let's read through them. Me talking about Zayn Malarkey when I was 9. The way he's blushing the entire video. Genuinely how I talked about a BTS member as at the age of 9. And like the way his cheeks are like bright red. Ooh.
Head just shut off and my mouth had a mind of its own. And anyone who knows me and has ever met me knows that I don't get nervous about people. What the hell was that? 3, he somehow managed to make me want to write music again, something I have not done since my last band broke up in 2019 and I got hit by a car and couldn't sing anymore. And 4, he failed to take a selfie with me because he was operating on like iPhone settings and I have an Android, and I accidentally called him adorable, and immediately wanted to swallow my fucking tongue. Because you don't flirt with people when they're working. That's rude. I paid to... I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. And my point is, it's a whole thing that I would like to no longer have to deal with. And all of this is made worse because I have been recognized at every single concert I've been to in the past year and a half, including 2 of his. And I've been on the Lovejoy Nation
I would just like to point out this guy follows like Lovejoy around, like, and has been to like following Wilbur around, which is crazy in itself. There's this post which we're going to talk about later about how he wants to move to Brighton. If you don't know where Brighton is, it's where a lot of YouTubers and people who used to associate with Wilbur live, and I believe Wilbur lives there. I'm not quite sure on that fact. Shout out to one of my chatters who, when I was talking about this on stream, said this. It's funny when people say Wilbur moved to New York, so apparently he isn't even there anymore. Wait, that's so funny. No, because like the person like defends it and they're like, oh no, like I want to move because what do they say? Like, oh, I want to move to Brighton because it, like, for multiple reasons. Like, and I just want to get out of where are they living? Texas, is it? But yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I didn't mean to like bring this all down on you, but which we're gonna get into in a bit as well because that's crazy. But
podcast twice. So no matter how many times I try to sweep this out of the rug and move on with my life, there's always that little thing in the back of my head saying, there's a non-zero chance. Oh my god. So basically, the way I see it, I finally say fuck it. I make this video, I say it all out loud to the ether that is the internet. Worst case scenario, he sees it, he says, hey, not for me. I move on with my life, it's fine.
I would like to say, I don't think anxiety is a bad thing, guys. You know, like you can have social anxiety. I don't always think anxiety is a bad trait, right? This dude has admitted to enjoying Lovejoy and going to a lot of their concerts. For those who don't know, Lovejoy is Wilbur's band. They were very, very big before the allegations came out. To admit this and then like go to their concerts, like that's so awkward because like, oh, just like put like the size of this like drama, I guess, has like, well, I feel like someone in the band has to have seen it, and I'm assuming Wilbur has seen it at this point. To then pull up to their concerts, and I'm sure Wilbur from like 2020 2021 is very used to parasocial relationships and people being parasocial with them. To admit that like, oh, I actually am in love with you, and then go to like their concerts, like I don't know how, like you're brave for doing that. I could not do that, that's for sure. Like to know that like everyone probably has seen it and like has not responded to you or whatever is crazy. That's so insane in my opinion.
And I'm an adult who cares. I'll take a no over uncertainty any day of the week. Neutral option, nothing happens. Oh well, I guess. Best case scenario, you know? Because honestly, it doesn't matter what I'm doing any day ever for the rest of my life. If he was like, hey, do you want to get dinner or something? I'd say yes. Obviously, I'm delusional. It's fine. But it is.
I mean, that's a good way of describing yourself, considering he's got multiple abuse allegations, and when they came out about him, he didn't just ignore it or give a really apologetic response or anything. He basically admitted to the allegations. Now, I'm not going to go into that. I've covered that enough. I've spoken about enough, and so has all of YouTube. And if you're a Wilbur supporter, you can get off my page because I don't agree with it. But to, you know, go, oh, but I'm going to ignore that because I have a crush on this guy. And I know a lot of Wilbur supporters are very die-hard fans, and they did ignore the abuse allegations because they were so attracted to him and, you know, red-tinted glasses and whatever. And like, I'm not going to argue with you. That's why I never made a video specifically talking about the allegations, just fans surrounding and their interactions. But guys, I feel like it gets to a point. I too was I really like Lovejoy. They were my top band in, what was it, 2022? I really liked it, and I liked Wilbur's music. I feel like that's pretty obvious when you look at me. But I know, or did I jump to defend him? Or I even stopped completely listening to all their music because I didn't want to support someone like that. Especially when you don't even like deny the allegations, go, yeah, like I just like didn't understand. Like I just a baby. What?
At this point, I'm just so over the not doing anything about the things that I want, you know? What's up with that? No one gets anywhere that way. So fuck it. I've said it out loud. What else is there to do at 9 p.m. on a... Is it Friday? I think it's Friday.
Like, go outside, like, meet up with your friends, go drinking? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean, what else is there to do on a 9 o'clock on a Friday evening? Like, best time to go out? So you must be thinking, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Does he not know about the allegations? Oh, he knows! Oh, he knows, and we're gonna see what he has to say about them. Okay, so this is the original video. It's quite long, so I will be cutting out bits of it. But this was posted June 26th, 2024. Okay, and this is the original response about the allegations. He's made a follow-up one since, and trust me, it doesn't get any better, but let's explore this one first.
I do not think that Wilbur Soot is an abuser, and I know I've said that fairly indirectly in the past, especially recently, but I do feel like now it needs to be said point blank. Because as someone who has been a victim of abuse, sexual assault, and domestic violence, I know way too well what those things look like. And while
I feel like by saying, oh, I was a victim of this, I know what it's like, it kind of tries to create the impression that, oh, because I've been through it, I'm not gonna support an abusist or something. Like, I'm not gonna support that type of thing. Like, I know what it's like to be in that situation, and it kind of is trying to like create like a safe wall. Like, because I didn't experience it in this way, it didn't happen. Like, this isn't right. There's only one way to experience all these horrific things. That's kind of like the vibe I get from this video. To summarize it, we can watch like bits of it, but it is 6 minutes long.
I know that most of my audience knows how I approach things like this by now. I also know that if I post this video, there will probably be a lot of people who don't know me who see it. So I'm going to try to be as kind, direct, and clear-cut as I can. So I'm going to stick to 3 main points from Shovel's VODs. Please go and watch them yourself. You are under no obligation to think the way that I do.
So it was kind of a load of nothing, but I do want to point you guys out to this comment. To people putting this a year later, this isn't about defending one person. It's being willing to acknowledge when a nuanced situation may not be as cut and dry as it seems, and being willing to accept that you don't have information. Which, once again, you don't have the information either. I don't know why you can go around saying this. I do agree critical thinking should be used from situation to situation, and you shouldn't just follow a crowd. I've written essays on how cancel culture isn't a great thing in general, but I believe in this time it was used pretty well. Yeah, that's all I have to say, really. So this video is a continuation of him talking or defending the abuser. I'm not gonna call Wilbur Soot the Brighton Biter. I think it makes a joke of the whole thing, although I do think it's funny. I do want to try to stay serious in this. Yeah.
I do not think that Wilbur Soot is an abuser.
This is just a reminder that I still feel that way. I've been doing more covers recently, and several of them have been Lovejoy songs because I fucking love Lovejoy. So I've been getting a lot of comments and DMs asking if I still support Will, which the answer is yes. I'm not the kind of person to hide my opinions, and if I think it's an important opinion, I usually will share it. So if my opinion had changed, I would have said it. So go watch that video all the way through if you want. It's like 6 minutes long, but you asked, so yeah, here I am, almost a year later. Same opinion, just a little bit more annoyed.
So, as I said in the beginning of the video, it's all the small things that are kind of added up into one page, which has kind of made people really hate Tyler. So next we're going to explore him wanting to join Lovejoy for no reason whatsoever, just you know, just wants to join a band. No, nothing specific about a certain band or anything, you know.
Lovejoy is legitimately the only band that I cannot listen to without wishing I was in the band, which is kind of strange because I'd give anything to be in just about any band. But with most great bands that I love, I just want to be a fly on the wall during the writing process. I just want to observe, I want to pick their brains, I just want to know how they do it. But every single time I hear a Lovejoy song, I feel like I need to roll up my sleeves and be in it. And I could just wax poetic for literal hours about why I feel that way. And they seem like they're all having equal amounts of fun with the actual songs, which I like. And I feel like the only part of every song that feels less important than everything else is the vocal melodies. And absolutely zero hate to Will Gold. He's very good at what he does, and I love listening to him sing and talk and everything else. But every time I hear a Lovejoy song, I just want to You know, I just want to sprinkle some good stuff in there because vocal melodies are my
Bro, the way he refers to Will as Will Gold as if like he's like on a first name basis. Like just call him Will, but like I don't know if that's like to try and like distract people from like the allegations and like all his history maybe. I don't really know what the point of that is, but I don't know, it just like throws me off.
thing. I can't sing a song without changing it a little bit most of the time. Just gotta make it more interesting and fun to sing. Now, every time I hear a Lovejoy song, I just want to take it, run it through my brain, and then rinse it off like I'm developing film. Not to like seriously change anything, because again, it's all great music.
Okay, this is the audition.
Portrait of a Blank Slate by Lovejoy. Fucking love this band. They're so goddamn fun. Every time. Wonderful trumpets. I'm a slut for trumpets. Nothing else, though. Definitely not. I think I'm having too much fun. It's also a possibility. Who knows? He told me that much and now he's dead. Told me to kill my indulgences with a shot blow to the temple. Pick up the phone, call and do everything he says. I could take a plastic camera, we could make such a pretty picture. Oh so happy, oh so happy. I'm pretty cool once you get to know me. I feel at some point I broke my mind. I'm always searching the silent type. How do you?
Yeah, you get it. I don't really have anything else there. I just wanted to show like how serious he was about trying to get into Lovejoy. Now there's obviously things that count which have been taken out of like taken out of context to which I don't agree with, and I, as I've said, I think a lot of things in a bubble aren't that bad, but when you put everything together, it's just not a good look. But yeah, like there's this which like has just been taken out of context and whatever.
Second to appreciate how great my ass looks in these jeans. I think we should all be talking about that, honestly. Why do I have a jewelry business when I can just have an ass? Definitely go check out the jewelry.
Right, so let's talk about the jewelry business now. So Tyler has this goal of moving out of the US, which is understandable. I wouldn't want to be there right now. I'm British. I don't even want to visit America, although maybe that is something I want to do in future. But he wants to leave. I believe he's in Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And he just happens to want to move to Brighton. Now, we explored this a little bit at the start of the video, but let's hear what he has to say about it.
Seen the guy moving halfway around the world just to be closer to a YouTuber? If y'all think I would make a massive, life-altering decision that takes years of work to achieve, just because I was willing to admit on the internet that I think a musician I don't know has a pretty laugh, then y'all really have the wrong idea. And I suppose you have a better explanation? I was supposed to move to Bournemouth a couple years ago. I had a job lined up, I did a ton of research, made a ton of preparations, admittedly got a little too excited because it ended up falling through at the last minute. But when I finally dusted myself off and got myself back on track, and decided I could probably just move out of the US on my own, England was the easiest choice because I had already done so much of the work. But why Brighton specifically? But when I visited England and met the people I had hoped to be working with, I completely fell in love with the South Coast. I've always wanted to live near the ocean and it's gorgeous. And Brighton is a really popular city right now. I've got a bunch of friends and support in the area, and like with most college towns, it's got a thriving art and music scene. And people keep telling me it's the gay capital of the UK, which I think is hilarious. You expect me to believe that's the only reason? I mean... I'm sure I'm not the only guy in the world who would let his decision to move somewhere be influenced by a sports team. And why would you like their football club if not for a crush? I grew up in the sport. My whole family played. We helped run a non-profit youth club.
We get the point. That's the justification of it. And you can take that how you want. I can't. I did see a couple comments being like, "Are you trying to persuade us or yourself?" And his response was, "Oh, I'm just making a video." Okay, so while talking about this on stream the other day, one of my chatters, I believe it was Barry, shout out Barry, told me that the jewelry cost around like 600 quid or something like really expensive. So I want to explore this because I feel like I haven't. Okay, we're just like lying. Holy shit! No, they weren't. Oh my god, 600 quid. Why is this so much? What? Okay, wait. 10 white mushroom variants. There's 10 in this pack. That's still what? 60 quid each for a piece of jewelry? Holy shit. Oh my god, wait. Okay, like I thought like people were like exaggerating the price slightly. No, no, like 70 quid or like a choker. Is this just one choker? Yeah. Insane, actually. Like, and people are buying this shit too. Holy shit. Like, I'm not trying to take away from people who do sell jewelry online, because trust me, I've got a nice couple of pieces of jewelry from sellers online and like people who have made stuff for me. I've got a friend who crochets a load of stuff, and they crocheted this little guy in the background, and I'm very thankful for him because he's just a cute guy. But that is a lot of money. Like this one here, it's over £1,000. I just like to point out, that is a lot of money to drop on a necklace. Like I'm not big into necklaces, but I'll have to call up someone and ask what a more knowledgeable person on like more beaded stuff and ask if what they think of it. Hello? Oh, you're blue.
I'm back.
You're back.
So it might be my Wi-Fi.
Maybe. Okay, how much would you pay for this piece of jewelry? Wait, hang on. Let me go to the start. How much would you pay for this roughly?
Like, what even is that?
It's
Oh, and it's got some nice stones on and things. Beads. I wouldn't buy it because it looks expensive, but like 40, 50 quid.
okay. So you ready for the big reveal? You ready for the big reveal? You ready? It is $1,349. And it's
Oh my God.
and it's made
I'm not shocked.
it's made by a guy who wants to move to Brighton because he's in love with Wilberset.
Oh my god, I know who this is.
Yeah, have you seen it? It's so funny. That's
I've seen it.
that's how much he's selling that jewelry for. The jewelry he makes.
What's it made of? It's beads. It's glass beads.
Yeah, I know. I know. Like you don't want to buy it. Like you don't want to buy it. Like
No, I'm alright.
okay. Well, thank you for your analysis. You were the best person I thought I should ask. You like knew your beads, I guess.
No worries.
Excellent.
It's just glass beads. It's glass beads in a real rock. What the hell? It's nothing even impressive. And it's also slightly ugly. No, I was happy to pick up because I'm procrastinating doing my essay,
Oh.
which is due tomorrow.
Oh, that's fair. I saw one thing I'd like to point out is I saw this post today, which I just want. It's got no relevancy. I just thought it was really really funny, and I have to show you.
If that guy ever was to get with the Brighton biter, right, it's giving siblings or dating. Am I right? Because like he kind of looks like him from when he was streaming, and then that one specific video that he did with James Marriott. You know that one video? I don't know what video it was, but I just remember him looking like an unwashed old disgusting sock. No offense to those people who used to like think he was fit or something, because I never saw the appeal. Like I didn't think he was. I just like, if you're gonna find a scrawny white man attractive, guys, like, why don't we look at Andrew Garfield?
This is the photo that they were talking about in this video. Yeah, honestly, I see it. I just thought this was a really funny TikTok, and I had to add it in. It has no real relevance. I'm so sorry. Ooh, I've been recording for half an hour already. Oh, what a treat for you guys. I also saw this, which is funny, and I don't agree with. I don't think you should support it. This might be a form of harassment, but like I do think it's funny, the idea of Wilbur having to deal with this in real life, you know, little punishment. This was his punishment for everything. I do think this is like a really funny idea. Okay, going back to being serious, this is the last video he's posted on his account, and his like statement on the whole situation, we can say.
I said I have a crush on a guy in a band who I do not know, to just hope it dies out. It just keeps getting worse, so I'm gonna say some shit. I am not the one stalking comment sections hoping to see someone I do not know. You are. I am not the one making fake accounts to stalk someone I do not know. You are. I am not the one making money off of lying and talking about someone I do not know. You are. I am not the one writing fan fiction and making edits and drawing fan art and using AI to make slop of people I don't know kissing. You are. I'm not the one pretending to be related to someone just to spread lies. You are. I am not the one wishing death and torture and rape and worse on someone I do not know just because they said they had a crush. You are. And I am most certainly not the one using AI to try and convince people on the internet that someone I have never interacted with is a pedophile.
Although I don't doubt people aren't doing this. I mean, I've seen the fan arts, and like I know how the internet is. I expect there's been some horrific messages sent, but there is a lack of self-awareness, and I feel like by presenting it as all these people are doing, even all I've said is one little thing, doesn't come across great. It kind of pushes the blame on the audience rather than taking responsibility about what you've said. And I feel like it makes you seem like, oh, like I'm right, look at all these people doing really bad things, and you know, assuming everybody is doing all this horrible stuff and you're not a fault at all is pretty narcissistic. I'll say it. It's a big word for out, and I don't usually like throwing words out, but from a lot of the content we've seen, this guy seems pretty self-absorbed and believes he's never done anything right. I mean, there's a video where it says he has no red flags, which I'll show you after we just cover this, because this is like his response to everything.
It's 100% on you. I said that I thought a guy was hot and funny and interesting in a video where I was not strictly literal. And then I said that because I am confident and like myself, that maybe he would like me if he gave me a chance, if he was interested in men, because again, I don't know his sexuality. I do not care where he lives. I do not care who he's seeing. I do not care what he does for fun in his free time because it has no effect on my life. I have a physical type. He happens to be that type. I have very high standards. I do not want someone who does not meet that standard.
So is like being abusive not within your standard? Is in your standard? Like, are we gonna ignore that? I know he doesn't believe Wilbur abused anyone, and like I said, oh, I don't care if like men are messy. Like men are just messy in general. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Do not look at my floor. It is covered in clothes. I can't say anything about that. But just say your high standards and then go, oh, but I like this person even though all this horrific stuff has come out against him. Seems a bit off.
Because frankly, every other problem on Earth right now is bigger and more important than a guy who has a crush on another guy. And while it would be nice to have a little more money, because I have goals of my own to work towards, I want absolutely nothing to do with any of that money. And otherwise, I hope you end up regretting every single cent you have made off of misrepresenting me. Because I am a good person. I am kind, and I do not deserve any of this. I believe that other people are mostly good. I believe that people can change when they have motivation to do so. And I hope that you all learn from this in the future, because
if you're asking why I've cut out most of this, it's because a lot of it is kind of just yap. I feel like even the comments are saying like me, he loves to hear himself speak, me trying to flesh out an essay. This video just never ends, it just keeps going. Which is why, you know, I've cut out a lot of it because it's kind of not really important.
And if you're here trying to see if what you've heard is true, it's not. You can look at everything I've said. I've left it all up. I stand by what I've said. Because even the worst thing they could find on me was me saying that they should think and consider carefully before allowing themselves to be used as an internet attack dog on behalf of people they do not know.
No, I feel bad arguing against this guy. He's obviously, I mean, I think anyone would be upset when there's a whole like meme about you on the internet. Maybe not the best time to record yourself crying, but as I said, I think he thinks he's completely right, and because everything he said is in its own bubble, but once you put it all together, it really comes off as dodgy. But as I said, I don't believe this guy's done anything bad. He's just parasocial and probably needs like a little bit of help, to be honest. Mainly for himself, because he said he's admitted how he can't get crushes or doesn't really. He's a one-soul guy type of person or whatever. And I really hope that, you know, he can take all this and reflect from it and be like, oh yeah, maybe I should like work on this and try and find someone in real life, or not a celebrity but I care so deeply about, you know. But yeah, I'm not so certain about that, because obviously he, in this video, makes it sound like everyone else is at fault and all he's done is just admit he had a crush on a celebrity, and like that's not a crazy thing, which isn't. Like, people have had crushes on celebrities since celebrities were a thing. Like, there's a reason, like in the 1930s or whatever, like what's his name, Charlie or whatever his name is, was like so big, so many women had like crushes on him. Like, I don't think it's a problem, it's just you shouldn't overshare on the internet. I've made a video on that before on my main channel. Don't overshare on the internet. You can keep this to yourself, and then you wouldn't have had this problem and you could have kept living life. Like, okay, you can be a Wilbur. It's just been blown out of proportion. You are parasocial, I can admit that, and you probably need like a little bit of help for your own sake, but at the end of the day, like, you haven't done anything criminal, and there's so much worse people out on the internet. And as he even said in this video, so many bigger issues than this that people should be focusing on. But to be honest, I think the state of the world right now, people want stupid things to focus on. They don't want to focus on like what's going on in America and all the horrific stuff, you know?
Because there will always be information you do not know. And I stand by that 1000%. Not sorry. And to Will Gold, on the off chance that you see this, personally, kind of hope you haven't seen any of it, but to you, I am sorry, because clearly this has gone so fucking far, and I didn't intend any of it. This whole thing sucks, and I don't like it. But other than that, I have no other apologies, because I have nothing to apologize for.
Ooh, I mean, you could argue that's right, I suppose. Like, he apologized to Will for saying what he said and whatever. The man should not have any apologies. He is an awful man, Wilbur. But to be honest, apart from, I think Tyler is quite an easy target, especially, you know, being a trans gay man from Texas who dresses differently and everything. I understand why people found it so easy to hate on someone rather than someone with like, no one has issues with people going, oh, I have a crush on like Tom Holland or whatever, you know. And I do think it's been blown out of the water.
You know, one of these brushes. Join me as I teach. You know,
I said I have a crush
Ooh,
on a
my
cat.
bad.
That's where we are now. I will continue working towards my goals. I will continue focusing on my business and the things that I love. And other than that, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Oh my, why does this matter to you? I don't even know how to end this video. Okay, bye. The flower lamp reappears. Fun times. I said
Yeah, I feel like it has been blown out of proportion, and I wouldn't be making a video about it either, but this is what I wanted to say. It's funny, you know, and it is insane. You know, someone who wants to just so happen to move to Brighton to you know, for no reason whatsoever, and has a is pretty parasocial with a abuser. It's not a great look, and he didn't paint himself very well in multiple different videos, as we've seen, you know, from defending him and being like, oh, well, I've been abused, so therefore I know like what abuse would look like and everything, you know. That's why people don't really like you, and that's why people have made such a big thing about it, because there's so much stuff to unpack. And because obviously it's all related to you, you don't see that. You just see them as like separate, like, oh yeah, like yeah, I want to move to Brighton. Yeah, I did this, I did that, you know. But like as I said right at the start of the video, because it's all under one page, it's all associated with one thing.
Asked me what my red flags were the other day, and I had been thinking for days, and I literally can't think of any. And I know that sounds like a red flag in and of itself, but like...
But yeah, as I said, they have this idea that they're in the right, and you know, everyone else is doing all the wrong stuff and have taken it the wrong way. And whatever, you know, from everyone took the apology from Wilbur completely wrong, because everyone's so impressionable and attack dogs of the internet or something. So now this, and then being like, well, I haven't done anything wrong. Like, yes, like you said some dodgy and like weird things, and yes, you apologized to Wilbur, so I'm not even gonna go there. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it. This kind of feels like over now, which is why I was waiting to record a video. But yeah, do I think he's gonna evolve from this and learn from this and change his ways? No, but one can hope. But I always hope for that, and people don't usually change from my experience. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry about the mic quality. This is going on my second channel because of it. I hope I gave some different takes. I know probably a lot of people are gonna or will be making videos on Tyler, especially now it's kind of like the saga's ended, I guess. So I've been watching a lot of One Piece recently. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. For those waiting for Soul Life, there hasn't been any recording sessions recently just because everyone's been busy. Hopefully that'll go back soon and come back soon on the main channel. I really enjoyed recording them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I thought this was going to be a good topic to talk about on my channel because we've discussed certain things about this before, and my audience feels like the right audience to talk to about this. It's not just some random internet drama. Like, I feel like people have pasts, you know, from June SMP to Lovejoy, etc. Sun and Moon, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching and sticking to the end. I know it was a long one. I'll see you in the next video.